Now, let me come back to what I'm looking at, and that is the Indian economy. You know, I am very surprised that we are not looking there at the Indian economy as a whole. We are looking at it in pockets. Don't we think that we as Indians should put ourselves together, hold our hands together, and look at it that what we are going to do about India? China is the envy of the world. Why? Because it has created a niche for itself in the world market, in the area of manufacturing, services, and supply. It has got its own. It doesn't mean that just because it had its resources, it was able to deliver. No, other people were looking at China with confidence that they will deliver things on time and they will be able to produce the quality that the other people wanted, and they will be able to deliver what they required, not what we are happening here. The weakness in India is that we are not looking at assurance of quality, and that is one of the major mistakes we do. And that reason is because we have not developed the confidence with our investors. Many of the startups, many people do not rely on the startups. What do these startups do? Many of the startups. I know one startup which I'm talking about 20 years ago. It was like a startup because two people came out of a company to set up a manufacturing for pesticides. And what did they do? They got money from foreign investors somehow. And first thing they bought was they took up a big place for setting up their office, plush offices, imported cars, and plush secretaries. And finally, at the end of the period, after 2 years, it went out the tube. That is not the attitude of an investor. That is not the attitude that an entrepreneur should have. An entrepreneur should be there where he starts off at zero and he remains at zero until his company becomes 100. If you look at the major industries, if you look at all the big industries which have grown over the period of time, they have not grown, investing in huge places, huge property, in plush offices. All of them started off in one-roomed, one-window offices. And that is how today they have grown big. And that is what we should follow. China created an atmosphere of efficiency, truth, and delivery. And that was the reason of its success. We have not done that. We are still, bogged down in our, the colonial way of thinking and what has been impressed upon us, that we are a weak nation. We are a set of people who cannot think for themselves. We are a set of people who need to be guided. We are a set of clerks. The mindset established by the British has been fully, deeply ingrained in us, and we have not been able to come out of it. And unless we burst that big balloon which surrounds us, India cannot take its step forward to becoming a challenge to China. China created the atmosphere for delivering of batteries of EVs, and we were left behind. But today, because of the PLI scheme of the central government, you are having new types of concepts which have come. For example, I was looking at the media presentation of the new car of Mahindra. I am not advocating for Mahindra, excuse me. The new car of Mahindra. Automatic parking. Something very surprising, which we never thought will come to India for the next 20 years. The other day I was looking at, reading a newspaper in which it said NIT Roorkela is trying to produce and started a prototype of a EV battery based on magnesium. Tatas are looking at a bus of hydrogen. Indian DRDO, with its collaboration with the Indian Scientific Research, they are developing a train, a engine to run on hydrogen. Today we are growing in gallops. We are galloping towards development. And how can we sustain it? Not these old-fashioned thinking of, I go back to the old an analogy of why we are looking at, I should save tax, therefore I should invest. No. You help the government by paying your taxes, and because today they are providing a new avenue where without exemptions the taxes are lower, use that benefit and use your money for the benefit of a nation. Don't spend it on, an extra shirt for 8,000 rupees. You need not require a shirt for 8,000 rupees. You require a shirt and that is all you need. Why I'm coming out with this angst is that we are not fulfilling our promises of what our forefathers thought about when we got our independence. Again, I go back to our forefathers. We started off with zero, or I would say negative. And today we have come, in leaps and bounds, we have come to this stage. And today we have capabilities of new concepts, new thinking. IITs, IIMs, NITs, RECs are working together. Defense research is now collaborating with private industries. Kalyani and L&T and Tatas are manufacturing howitzers. They are manufacturing guns. They are manufacturing small-scale arms. They are manufacturing trucks for different terrains, ice and snow. And today, India is running trains in Kashmir using a technology by which it is able to run the train even on an icy surface and during the deep cold winters of Kashmir. So we are capable. And how are we going to do about it? That is where I come to the fundamental aspect, that we should all work towards giving the funds to the government for development. If the funds are being misutilized, then I would say no. But today, the funds are being utilized properly. We have to accept the truth part of it. What was happening in the 60s and the 70s when we established the IITs, the IIMs, and the Rourkela plant and the Durgapur plant, today that is happening. And that is what we should look at. What was happening in the 70s, 80s, up to the 70s, what is happening is today happening in the 20s. So we should encourage that. How do we encourage that? If we are able to give the opportunity to government, for example, I'll be honest with myself, I'll pay the taxes correctly, and I will pay my GST correctly, I will account for GST correctly, there will be more funds for the government to distribute. Today we are having beautiful roads. We are having an underground train running underground in Bombay. We are having the Worli Sea Link, which has not been, it was there in the papers for 30 years. Today we are having a train on the Chenab, the highest point in the world. We are running trains. So you must imagine where we are going and how we will be able to do it. And that is where we should start. Chinese believe in honesty because that is where they started off. They started off manufacturing iPhones and they could deliver the best product with iPhone wanted, and they captured the world market of manufacturing. And today they have created their own niche in the manufacturing of different cell phones. For example, Lenovo, Xiaomi, all these are coming from China. India is not able to challenge them anywhere. That is because we are looking at still the same old 1970s, 80s thinking of no, save tax, save tax, save tax. Look at the broader framework. and discuss it, take it forward. Thank you.